Shaunie O'Neal has finally spoken out after years of rumors and speculation about her seemingly perfect marriage to Pastor Keion Henderson. For a long time, they were viewed as the ideal couple, full of love, faith, and partnership, admired by many. But behind their public image, things weren't as perfect as they seemed. Shaunie has now confirmed the rumors that have been circulating for years. And trust me, the truth is shocking. It all started with whispers in the church community suggesting that Pastor Keion might not have been as faithful as he appeared. Shaunie, known for her strength and grace, dismissed these allegations for a long time, determined to protect her marriage. But over time, the rumors grew louder and harder to ignore. The truth didn't come to light by accident. It unfolded through a series of unexpected events that forced Shaunie to face reality. Destiny took a turn, revealing secrets that shook the foundation of her marriage. What makes this story unique is how Shaunie chose to confront the situation head-on, rather than staying silent. Her journey is one of betrayal, heartbreak, and ultimately empowerment. As the details came out, it became clear just how deep the deception went, and Shaunie's decision to accept the truth was a courageous moment. This isn't just about infidelity. It's a story of resilience, self-respect, and the power of speaking the truth, no matter how painful it may be. Before diving into the drama, let's talk about who Shaunie O'Neal and Pastor Keion Henderson really are. Shaunie is best known as the creator of the reality show Basketball Wives. Her business skills and commanding presence have earned her respect in both the entertainment industry and beyond. She's also admired as a devoted mother, philanthropist, and a woman of incredible strength. On the other hand, Pastor Keion Henderson is a charismatic spiritual leader with a massive following at his church. He's known for his powerful sermons that inspire change, and his influence extends beyond the church community. Together, Shaunie and Keion seemed like a perfect match. Their love story captivated the public, and when news of their relationship broke, it was celebrated as a beautiful partnership. Their lavish wedding was the talk of the town, and on social media, they shared moments that painted the picture of an ideal life, filled with love, prayer, and togetherness. They seem to have it all. A love rooted in faith and shared values. But here's where things get interesting. What appeared to be a perfect union was hiding cracks no one could see. Behind the glossy images of vacations, romantic gestures, and heartfelt declarations on social media, there were subtle signs of trouble. Whispers of tension started to surface, and while the couple maintained their perfect public image, the reality of their private struggles began to emerge. What makes this story so compelling is the stark contrast between their public persona and the private turmoil they were facing. Shaunie and Keion were seen as a symbol of hope and love for many people. Their relationship was admired for its faith and values, but as the story unfolds, we see that things weren't as perfect as they appeared. The cracks in their relationship were starting to show, and fans began to notice. Despite the signs, Shaunie and Keion continued to present a united front. They posted about their love, their faith, and their shared goals. But beneath the surface, things were far more complicated. As time went on, there were more whispers about Keion's faithfulness. At first, these rumors seemed like nothing more than the usual gossip that surrounds high-profile couples. However, as the rumors grew, they became harder to dismiss. Shaunie, ever confident and composed, initially chose to ignore the gossip. She continued to publicly support her husband, posting loving tributes and sharing their life together. To the outside world, she appeared unaffected by the rumors. But behind the scenes, little things started to add up. Missed calls, vague explanations, and a shift in Keion's behavior began to make Shaunie question what was really going on. Even as the evidence mounted, Shaunie held on to hope. She didn't want to believe that the man she loved was hiding something from her. But the cracks in their relationship were becoming more difficult to ignore, and eventually, Shaunie had to face the reality of the situation. The moment that changed everything came when Shaunie made a discovery. Whether it was an overheard conversation, a confession, or a chance finding, the truth was undeniable. Shaunie could no longer brush off the rumors as mere gossip. The betrayal she had been ignoring was right in front of her, and she had no choice but to confront it. Shaunie didn't just hear about Pastor Keion's betrayal, she caught him in the act. It all started like any other day, but by the end of the evening, her world was completely turned upside down. At first, it was just a gut feeling, a suspicion that something wasn't right. She had been brushing it off for weeks, telling herself it was nothing more than paranoia fueled by rumors. But this time it was different. There was a change in Keion's behavior, a coldness, a distracted look, and he seemed glued to his phone. One evening, while Keion was in the shower, Shaunie's curiosity got the best of her. What she found on his phone shocked her to the core. Texts that were not just friendly exchanges, but full of flirtation, late-night plans, and promises of secret meetings. Shaunie was stunned and in disbelief. But she wasn't going to make assumptions just yet. She needed more than text messages to confront her husband. Over the next few days, Shaunie paid closer attention to Keion's actions. She noticed small inconsistencies, gaps in his stories, and moments when his actions didn't match up. Then, one evening, Keion said he had a late meeting at church, but something about his tone didn't sit right with Shaunie. She decided to follow her instincts and drove to the church, only to find it empty. His car wasn't there. Using a shared location app, she saw that he was at a luxury hotel across town. Her heart raced as she drove there, each step feeling heavier than the last. When she arrived, she saw him, laughing and walking arm in arm with a woman who definitely wasn't her. It was like a scene from a movie, but it was her reality. The betrayal wasn't just in the act, but in the lies, the deceit, and the audacity of it all. Shaunie didn't confront him on the spot. Instead, she drove home, tears streaming down her face. Her mind raced with questions. What makes this story different is how Shaunie handled the situation. She didn't let the betrayal break her. Instead, she focused on getting clarity and the answers she deserved. Stay tuned as we reveal how Shaunie confronted Pastor Keion and what followed. You won't believe how this all went down. One thing's for sure, Shaunie O'Neal is not someone to be underestimated. The confrontation was nothing short of explosive. Shaunie, a woman known for her grace and composure, had finally reached her breaking point after days of sleepless nights and emotional turmoil. She decided it was time to face Keion with the undeniable truth she had discovered. It was a quiet evening when Keion walked through the door, his usual charming self, unaware of what was coming. Shaunie, calm but determined, sat in the living room with her phone in hand, the incriminating messages still visible on the screen. As Keion greeted her, Shaunie's voice trembled but remained steady as she said, "We need to talk." Her tone was firm, making it clear this wasn't a casual conversation. Keion sat down across from her, sensing the seriousness of the moment. "I'm going to show you something," Shaunie said, locking eyes with him, "and I want the truth. No lies, no excuses." Keion shifted in his seat, but before he could respond, Shaunie slid her phone across the table. The screen lit up with the damning texts. Keion's face fell, the color draining from his cheeks. "What is this?" Shaunie demanded. "Who is she? And don't you dare tell me it's nothing." Instead of denying everything, Keion tried to justify his actions. "Shaunie, it's not what it looks like," he stammered. She needed guidance, someone to talk to. It's part of my role as a pastor." Shaunie's laugh was bitter, cutting through the tension. "Guidance at a hotel? Late at night? Don't insult my intelligence." The conversation quickly escalated. Shaunie's voice cracked as she unleashed years of built-up frustration. "I trusted you. I believed in us. How could you do this to me? To us? To our family?" Keion's attempts to apologize only made things worse. "I made a mistake, Shaunie. I wasn't thinking. I don't want to lose you. Please, let's work through this." But Shaunie wasn't buying it. "A mistake?" she shot back. "A mistake is forgetting an anniversary, not betraying your wife and breaking her trust." What makes this story stand out is Shaunie's refusal to let the confrontation end with empty apologies. She demanded accountability, clarity, and respect, things she realized had been missing for far too long. As the argument reached its peak, Keion fell silent, his excuses exhausted. Shaunie, however, stood tall, her voice firm as she delivered her final words for the night. "I deserve better than this, Keion, and you know it. The question is, do you have the courage to admit it?" The conversation ended with a heavy silence, but Shaunie walked away from it not just as a betrayed wife, but as a woman reclaiming her power. What happened next? Stay tuned to find out how Shaunie's strength and determination reshaped her future, proving once and for all that she's not just a survivor, she's a force to be reckoned with. After the truth came to light, the fallout was immediate. The picture-perfect image of Shaunie O'Neal and Pastor Keion Henderson crumbled overnight. Their admirers were in shock, while their critics were in a frenzy. The couple, once seen as a symbol of love and faith, now found themselves at the center of a scandal they couldn't control. The public reaction was swift and mixed. Social media exploded with disbelief, anger, and some even feeling vindicated. "How could he do this to her?" one user tweeted, echoing the thoughts of many. Another wrote, "I knew something was off about him. No one's that perfect." The media wasted no time diving into the scandal, with headlines blasting betrayal, infidelity, and heartbreak. Tabloids dissected every detail, from Shaunie's emotional Instagram posts to Keion's conspicuous silence. Morning talk shows debated the situation, with some applauding Shaunie's courage to face the truth, while others questioned the authenticity of their relationship from the start. But the craziest part? While the world debated, Keion remained silent. No press conferences, no public apologies, not even a vague social media post. His refusal to address the allegations only fueled the fire. Was it guilt, Shame, or perhaps a strategy to protect his reputation? Whatever the reason, his silence left the public hungry for answers. For Shaunie, the fallout was more than just public. It was deeply personal. Friends and family offered their support, but behind closed doors, she had to face the harsh reality of rebuilding her life in front of the world. Every move she made, every word she spoke was scrutinized. The impact on her relationship was undeniable. The once inseparable couple was now worlds apart. Shaunie, who had always been the pillar of strength, now found herself questioning everything: her choices, her trust, and the future she had imagined with Keion. Destiny had taken an unexpected turn, but despite the chaos, Shaunie chose to rise above it. She refused to let the scandal define her. Instead, she focused on her children, her career, and her well-being. Her resilience became an inspiration to many, showing that even in the darkest moments, there's a way forward. What makes this story different is the way it shattered illusions. It wasn't just about a marriage falling apart. It was a reminder that even the most seemingly perfect lives can hide cracks beneath the surface. The fallout was a wake-up call, not just for Shaunie and Keion, but for everyone who believed in the fairy tale. As the dust settled, one thing became clear: this wasn't the end for Shaunie. It was the beginning of a new chapter. For Keion, only time would tell if he would find redemption or remain a symbol of betrayal.